Good afternoon. This is Amber with Amber Poetry and Song, and I'm coming to share a prophetic word. This word I had on May 30th. This was right after I had the vision of, I think I posted about a dream that I had about it has something to do with the pro-choice movement. It's a video I did about the pro-choice movement. So this vision came after that. So this vision was of a vision of blue lights from police cars as I was listening to that pro choice movement video, because I go back and I watch my videos before I release them. But I had this vision as I was listening to the pro choice movement video that I made on here. And so, what the Lord caused me to understand, as I said before Him, is that this has to do with um, arrests being made, or trouble with the law for abortion, since Roe versus Wade was overturned. So this vision has to do with the consequences of um, getting an abortion. And before I go further, I would like to say that when I come and I share something like this, it's because the Lord has put it on my mind. The only way I will speak on something like this is by the Lord giving me a vision or a dream about it. Other than that, I will not speak on it, because I do have, different opinions, about certain things. But when the Lord causes me to speak on something, that is what I will speak, regardless if it offends, because I'm just being obedient to what the Lord is having me to do. My intention is not to offend anyone on here, and it's not to condemn those who have had abortions or who still think about that. It's just I'm releasing what the Lord has given me, and that's it. So I just wanted to get that out the way before I go further. Um, but what I was led to was James chapter 4, the scripture with this word. Um, James chapter 4, verses 14 through 17 is what I'm going to read, because this is pertaining to the consequences. We already know that with Roe versus Wade being overturned in certain states, I believe, um, you know, depending on the state, you can go to jail for getting an abortion. You can be prosecuted for getting an abortion. So I'm going to read James chapter 4, verse 14. It says, "Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now ye rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is a sin." So this is basically saying that your life is not your own, and it's this is pertaining to the Supreme Court um, overturning Roe versus Wade, and so yeah, it's saying that your life is not your own. Um, it pertains to abortion and the consequences of getting one, which we all know, um, that you can get jail time for that, as a consequence. But what God is showing me through this vision also, because there's so many people trying to still, counteract that decision by the Supreme Court, is that this even includes death, um, as a consequence for getting abortions. Um, and yeah, because there's people that are still seeking to have, abortions anyways after that judgment has been ruled. And, you know, that judgment is coming directly from the Lord, because not only myself, but others that the Lord is using have spoken about this and about how the Lord feels about abortion. Um, and you know, people will still do what they want to do. They make their own choices, but when it's a difference. I'm trying to put it in the right words. Like when it comes to the Lord giving someone a dream or a vision of something that He's wanting them to speak, that is what they must speak. And many people have been speaking against abortion that the Lord is using, prophetic voices that the Lord is using. And so, even if we feel that the Supreme Court didn't make a right choice, what overrules that, what we think and feel about what the Supreme Court did is God's choice, His judgment against it. And right now, the consequences for that is jail time. But what the Lord is showing me with this vision, even death, when it comes to those seeking to get those, because you've been warned already. So before destruction, you have warning before destruction. So destruction comes after a warning. Um, and when I say this, when it comes to the different situations of why you would need an abortion, you know, specifically like the ones pertaining to like rape, I am in no way agreeing with the things that happen to women that would cause for a need to get an abortion. I sympathize with those things, and I am not saying that those things are okay. So do not get that twisted. But what I'm saying is when the Lord gives a word for His children to speak, that is what they must speak. And so if you choose to be offended by it or to think anything of me because of what I'm saying, then that's something you have to take up with God, because I'm only being obedient to what God has shown me. I will not speak on this topic unless God shows it to me for those specific reasons, because it's just a touchy topic altogether. So, yes, but what he was showing me is death. Death is a consequence because you've been warned when it comes to abortion, and you've been warned as far as how God feels about these babies, how He feels about these children being aborted, how He looks at these children, these unborn babies. So, yeah, another thing, people were trying to say, I've seen some people saying that the Supreme Court, they were calling the decision that they made with overturning it evil. And this is what else the Lord led me to as I was thinking about that when I was sitting before Him. They were calling something that the Lord is showing His servants is evil. They were calling that, with the Supreme Court overturning it, evil. But this is what Isaiah 5 Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20 says when it comes to calling evil good and good evil. And I just want to read that real quick, because we have to be careful, because some things are of the Lord. And when you're calling something a judgment, a decision that the Lord has caused to take place, evil, you're treading on a different type of ground at that point. So Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20, it says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." It says, "Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight." And I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to keep, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there. But basically, this word is just about the consequences when it comes to abortion. That jail time, you know, they've states have shown that where I'm at, I believe you can get jail time for it. and you can be prosecuted for it. But the Lord is even saying death at this point, because, like I said, warning comes before destruction. So he's been warning people through his servants that's been speaking out against this before Roe versus Wade was even overturned. He's been warning people, and when you're warned, it's for you to turn back and go another way, to take heed to what's being said. But when you choose not to take heed and you rebel against that and rebel against God, then there's nothing left for anyone to do but for God to move. And sometimes that leads to destruction, which is sometimes death. So that is the word that I have to give. If you're offended by it, I apologize for you being offended, but I'm just being obedient to what the Lord has shown me. So see y'all later. Peace and blessings. Goodbye.